If you've ever seen somebody jumping forwards and then they're suddenly jumping backwards and then back to forwards again, and you're thinking, how in the heck did that just happen? It's called a rope reversal or a rope direction change, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. So grab your rope and let's do this. Rope direction changes are one of my favorite skills. I learned it years ago, but when I learned it, there was no videos, no slow motion tutorials on what was happening. I saw somebody perform it very quick and I could not wrap my head around it, and it took me a while to figure it out on my own. I don't want you to have to go through that and recreate the wheel again, so I'm giving you this tutorial to show you step by step on how to do it. Now, learning jump rope skills isn't just for show, it's about building your coordination, bringing in variety to your jump rope workouts and jump rope sessions so you have more fun during it. You're gonna see progression not only in your fitness level, but also in your performance level, and that's what it's all about. There are a few prerequisites that you need to have in order to be able to perform this skill. The first one is jumping forwards. That's basic. You probably definitely have that one down. And then you also need to be able to jump backwards. You don't have to do it really well, but you need to be able to do at least a few jumps in order to be able to get to the point where you can reverse the rope back over. And you're probably going to want to have the alternate foot step down as well. All right, let's first go over forwards to backwards, and I just want to show you how that looks in a sloped pace. So what you're doing is as you're jumping forwards, as the rope comes back and over, you're going to land on your non-dominant leg, woo, and then you're going to let the rope come around. You're going to raise your hands around over the shoulders, head height, and you're gonna, whatever allows the bottom of the rope to catch you in the middle of your ankle. Now from here, the only purpose of this is what's stalling the rope. You're stopping the rotation. And then from here, you're gonna give a flip out with your handles, whipping the rope away, and at the same time, you're gonna give a slight push with your foot. So it's gonna look like this. And that's gonna get the rope going back in the other direction. Let me show you that from the side. So as it comes overhead, bring hands up, rope hits in the ankle, stall the rope, then you give a slight push and come back. Now what you're gonna have a tendency to do is wanna move the rope faster with your foot, and so don't get all Karate Kid on me and trying to kick that rope over really hard. In order to get good at this skill, you need repetition. I'm gonna show you exactly how to drill it right now. So all you're gonna need to do is stand in one spot. We're not gonna be jumping the rope, but cue the rope up behind your ankles, keep it nice and tight, and as you bring it over, raise the leg that's most comfortable to you, and you're just gonna practice catching it first on your ankle. So bring it over, catch it. And then you can always just step over it and practice that again. Now, once you get comfortable with that, then I want you to start practicing the slight kick over. So stall the rope, let it fully come to a rest, and now you just get used to giving that little whip over. And what you wanna do is make sure you're maintaining tightness in the rope. So as it comes over, you don't want it loose and just all wavy. You want to have some tension into the handle so you can feel it. Boom, backwards jump, and cued back up, catch, kick over, couple jumps. And you're just going to repeat this and start getting more and more comfortable with how it's done. You can also start jumping forwards and now catching it, and then reversing it. You got the forwards to backwards down, now we're gonna drill backwards to forwards. This one's a little bit more difficult because it's bouncing off the foot behind you, which means you're blind. This is a repetition again, and building the muscle memory of hitting the right position and having your hands at the right spot, so it's gonna bounce off your foot every time so you can make that rope change. So this time, now we're starting with the rope in the front, and we're swinging it over, and as we do that, we put our toe to the ground back just behind us, not very far, and you're trying to get your foot as vertical, your heel as forward as possible. And as that rope comes around, you're gonna stall it, and then you're gonna bring it back over. So first, just get used to stalling it, just making it make contact with your foot, and now we can start giving it a little push again as it stops. Again, we don't want to be kicking at it like a donkey. We want to have a nice little stall and a push. And then we just want to drill that. And as you get better with that, now start adding in some jumps. Boom, and back over. Now it's important to always make sure you're making contact with the ground with your foot, with your toe, because otherwise the rope can just make it under it like this and you'll miss it, and then you're just going to be tripped up anyway. So make sure you get that toe onto the concrete or your mat or whatever to make sure that you're going to make the rope hit your foot. All right, now we're going to start putting it all together. We're going to go forwards to backwards, then back to forwards. So remember to start slow whenever you're learning new skills. Start slow because you can get way ahead of yourself. There's new moving parts that you haven't done before. So start at a nice easy pace. Stall it. Come back over for a couple jumps. Oh, I lifted my toe. All right, so forwards, stall it, backwards, boom. Forward, stall, backwards, stall. Forwards, stall, backwards, stall. Forwards, stall, backwards, stall. And you're just going to want to keep practicing that over and over again to get better and better at it. And ultimately you can do it without even jumping the rope. You can just go from forward stall to backward stall, forward stall to backward stall. And just get used to making sure you're keeping the rope tight as it goes over your head and coming off your foot. All right, as you get better and better at this, you're going to notice that you're going to be able to speed things up and do things slightly different from the basics that I just showed you. So for instance, when I'm going, you're going to see that my feet are moving into the rope a little bit more because of the speed that I'm carrying into the movement. And I'm going to give it a little bit more of a kick even in the back, which allows me to quickly change the direction and keep my rope speed up. I want to give you a tip on how to go from a very high speed going forwards to quickly making that rope direction change. And it's a little technique that I use. Instead of catching it directly on my leg, what I'm doing is I move my hands forward a little bit and get the rope to bottom out somewhere out, you know, 1.5 to 2 feet in front of me, and get it to bounce up because it's going to quickly start to remove some of the speed of the rope. And then it's going to hit my leg, and that's when I kick it over. So at full speed, this is what it looks like. All right, so again, all I'm doing there is as I'm coming around, getting it to bounce up. So it's bringing this downward bounce, then into my shin, and then I bring it back around with my hands. The next thing you can do is add 180s to your mix. And this is a great way to combo the two together and create a nice flow where you're not constantly just kicking the rope over in these rope reversals, but you can also use the 180 skills to also flow, and it just makes things, this is when it starts really becoming fun. Your flow starts to happen and your workouts are no longer workouts. You're just out having fun jumping some rope. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out that video I have linked right over here, and I will see you in the next video.